Hey, my dudes, I'm making this video real quick to talk about something, and that's that my brand new gaming computer, I think it's like an ASUS ROG G700 TF or something. It's back here. I'm going to be taking it back. I'm going to be returning it. That thing was, it's a little over $2,000, which is honestly not that expensive given what was with it. It had a really nice build, really nice. It when I played video games on it, it ran it extremely smoothly. It never even got close to overheating. The graphics card, the 5070 Ti in it, handled 4K, 120 FPS Fortnite really well. I think maybe the processor was slowing it down because honestly, like I said, it could handle 4K, but I used it at 1080p for YouTube, and I noticed the frame rate would go down quite a bit regardless of if it was 4K or 280p resolution. So I'm thinking maybe the Core i7, whatever's in it, the AI version of that, was like a bottleneck for it. I mean, it was fine. Like it, I'm just saying that like I didn't notice a frame rate difference from 1080p to 4K. So I think the graphics card was holding its own. Maybe the processor or something was, bottlenecking it or something a tiny bit. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. But I'm returning it, and I wanted to talk about how my experience with it. My return window is literally like tomorrow, and that's it. And then I would be like stuck with it, and I would have to be like using the warranty on it to like send it to the manufacturer and wait months to get it back. What I think is probably wrong with it is the motherboard. The only thing that I really noticed weird about it when I got it was it would not go to sleep. It would not shut down. Like it would shut down and then it would immediately boot right back up. So I would have to shut it down like 2 or 3 times, and then maybe it would stay shut down throughout the night. If I put it to sleep or hibernate, I tried everything to get it to stay asleep, get it to hibernate, and it would usually turn on immediately or a few minutes after it went into sleep mode. It would just turn back on. So I was annoyed by it. I was getting really sick of it. I was trying to figure out how to fix it, and at one point I started updating all the hardware. Like I downloaded ASUS Armory Core or whatever, and I just hit all the updates for it. And then I went into Windows Update, and there was like an optional firmware update, and I did that, and that was basically it. When it rebooted from that, it never booted up again. Like the power light just started flashing really fast. So I tried flashing the BIOS, trying to fix but I think actually what ended up happening is maybe the whole motherboard just died. I think that's probably what happened. So I'm thinking maybe the motherboard is defective, and that's the reason why it kept turning on even when I shut it down. But again, if I shut it down a couple of times in a row, it would usually stay, shut down. But it would not sleep. It would not hibernate. And I was, just clicking all the updates for it, and it never turned on again. So I'm thinking about buying another one with a longer return policy, like a 60-day return policy instead of like a 10-15-day return policy. I am very lucky this thing died when it did. Otherwise, like I said, I would have to use the warranty on it, and then I would probably have to wait months for them to try to get a new motherboard on it. Now, I did get a Corsair Vengeance gaming computer back in like 2023 or something. And the fans on that, after a year, a lot of them, like 3 of them, started to make a lot of grinding noises and stuff. It needed to be replaced. And Corsair just gave me 4 of them, 4 brand new fans, new models, not the same model fans that came with it, that are more powerful, a little bit louder, but they work really good. So the Corsair gaming computer was really good that I bought 2 years ago. The fans on it after a year started grinding, but again, they replaced them for free, and I got an additional fan for free. So I mean, yeah, it was a pain in the ass to take the cable management apart and put in the new fans, but it was worth it. I got a free fan from it and a really good computer that's been lasting 2 years really good. So Corsair gaming computers, they're for whatever reason, they're a lot more expensive now. They like added like $500,000 to the price tag. Like if I wanted to get another Corsair Vengeance with the same hardware that's in this one, it would cost like $3,000 instead of $2,000. So I don't know why they're price gouging their gaming computers now all of a sudden. But if I look at the reviews for that Corsair Vengeance, it had like 3 out of 5 stars. I got it when it only had like 2 reviews, and they were good reviews. But a lot of people were saying black screen of death, bad graphics card, bad whatever, out of the box, wouldn't turn on, wouldn't boot up. So I got lucky with that. Now, a lot of people say these pre-built computers, they put in cheap components. I don't think, from looking at this thing doesn't look like there's any cheap components in it. The graphics card has like this huge radiator heatsink on it. The RAM has heat sinks on it. I mean, it's beefy. And it looks like, it's above basic. Maybe the motherboard's a cheap piece of crap. I don't know. Probably. So, it could have been the power supply. It could have been anything on this thing. So, I looked up this computer, and there's 2 very recent reviews where they said they had this thing for like 2 weeks, and then it wouldn't boot up. And I had this thing for almost 2 weeks, and it won't boot up. So luckily, I'm within the return policy. I'm going to get an extended return policy when I buy another pre-built computer, because I thought I didn't even think this would happen. I thought it's either going to work or it's not. The computer that I'm using is like 10 years old right now. It's got like a 3060 in it or something. Graphics card, which, as you can see, is doing pretty good. The fans in it are very, very loud. Some of the fans in it are dead. I just disconnected them. I didn't even get any replacement fans. The computer I'm using is a DIY build-it-yourself computer. It was a real budget computer. It's kind of like the computers that you see when you go to Best Buy and they're on display. The 50, 60 graphics cards, the Core i5s and stuff. Like the bottom of the barrel gaming computers that are like $1,200 at most. That's kind of like what this one is, but really outdated. And it like I've beaten the crap out of this thing. I've torn it apart, and it just keeps on chugging. It just keeps on. This computer just keeps on chugging. And for this huge ass brand new gaming computer to just keel over and die after 10 days, crazy. But like I said, if you look online, this is a huge problem, especially with pre-built computers where they use cheap parts. I don't know if it's because of the cheap parts. It looks like, they use decent parts on it for the most part. Yeah, I mean, I do got to admit the motherboard in this pre-built cheapo 10-year-old computer or whatever, it is a pretty nice motherboard. It has more PCI slots. It's got some extras on it, and that's not on this pre-built, really. It doesn't really have that much space for anything extra. So I really liked it. I really think that maybe if one of the parts in it wasn't giving it problems, wasn't malfunctioning, it would be a really, really good computer. I'm probably going to spend the next 2 hours looking up more pre-built computers that I can buy. But I may just go ahead and buy another one of these ASUS ROG G700s. Maybe I just got a bad one. But like I said, I think it's actually discounted right now. So I will actually like gain a couple $100 from returning it and getting a new one. Also, the Elgato HD60 Pro PCI Express card or whatever PCI card would not fit in this brand new computer for whatever reason. Like, I would push it into the motherboard and like it didn't align up with the back plate on it where you actually plug it in to the HDMI in and out. Like, it didn't interface with it. It wasn't aligned right. And I never experienced that before. Like, those PCI cards go in this DIY computer just fine. They went into the Corsair computer just fine. So I had to buy a brand new Elgato USB-C capture card that I'm still using today now to make this video. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it's warped or it's misaligned. That thing wouldn't fit in the computer, and it should. So that PCI card, the capture card, they don't make it anymore. It's out of date. So I had to get a new one anyway at some point. So I like this one. It's capable of doing 4K video, even though I'll never use 4K. Instead just 1080p. But so again, I really liked it, the G700. Besides that misalignment on the back, but the worst thing about it is it would not shut down. It would just stay awake. It would wake up within a minute or two of going to sleep, and I would be waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of the computer revving up and then shutting down again, going back to sleep and then revving up again. And I would have to sit here and tell it to shut down twice usually to keep it shut down. So like, I would tell it to shut down and I'd come back a minute later and it would be back on again. So I would have to shut it down again, and then it would usually stay shut down. So like I said, the Corsair Vengeance that I got, I think I lucked out. I got a good one. I think the fans were bad. And again, I probably shouldn't buy another G700 until maybe they fix the motherboard problem. Because I think it's probably a motherboard problem. Maybe. I don't know. So, I think it would probably be stupid for me to buy another one if they created a bad batch of motherboards and it's only been 10 days. Obviously, I'm going to get another bad batch out of it. But, the reviews weren't all 1 stars. It was just 2 1 stars. So, and again, it's currently rated higher than the Corsair computer that I bought 2 years ago that only had 3 out of 5 stars. This one has like 4.4 out of 5 stars. But I think the problem is you got to give it a little bit of time for these computers to die on people, and then the reviews go down. So anyways, I think that's it for this video to discussing this. It's going to be a real easy return for me, most likely. I'm just going to take it there, get it returned, maybe buy another one. I'm going to do some research on gaming computers. I really liked it. I thought for a little bit over $2,000 I was getting a good deal. A 5070 Ti, Core i7, 2 terabytes of space, 32 gigs of DDR. I mean, you can't really ask for more. That's $2,000 in this big, heavy, pre-built computer that has no cooling, heating problems at all. That the fans are pretty silent. you know, I liked it. It was doing real good, you know, but not anymore.